Good evening. Welcome to South Asia Newsline. I'm Asia Sharma. Here are the top stories we are tracking for you on Wednesday, the 23rd of August. Nepalese Prime Minister Sher Bahadur Deuba arrives on a 5-day visit to India. Suicide bombing in Afghanistan's Helmand province kills 5. And now for all the details. 10 coaches of a train were derailed on Wednesday morning after it collided with a dumper in India's northern Uttar Pradesh province, injuring over 70. This is the second rail accident only days after 23 people were killed in another derailment in the province.
At least 70 people were injured when 10 train coaches derailed early on Wednesday in India's northern Uttar Pradesh province. Kaifiyat Express was heading towards national capital New Delhi when it derailed after colliding with the dumper near Auraiya district of the province. The accident comes only days after 23 people were killed in another derailment in the province.
It has been indicated that a dumper collided with the train when it was passing through a railway gate number 14 between Kanpur and Etawah. And as a result of this dumper colliding with the train, engine plus 10 of its coaches got derailed. There are no reports of casualties, injuries at this stage.
Injured passengers were immediately rushed to the nearby hospitals and are undergoing treatment. Railway authorities have also arranged special train for the safe passengers.
इसमें लगभग 72 लोग घायल हुए हैं, जिनको सभी को बहुत ही तत्परता से यहाँ से मोबिलाइज करते हुए प्राथमिक चिकित्सा के लिए CHC भेजा गया और जो कुछ उसमें सीरियस थे उनको सफाई हॉस्पिटल में.
Meanwhile, the rescue operations are over and restoration works are on for regular traffic flow. The North Central Railway or the NCR administration has diverted a number of up and down line trains following derailment.
Meanwhile, millions of people have been affected by monsoon flooding across the South Asian countries, including India. The situation remains grim while relief work continues on poor footing.
Flood situation in India continued to remain grim on Tuesday, with aid workers carrying rescue and relief operations on war footing even as heavy rains hampered relief efforts. More than 11 million people have been affected in 4 provinces across the north and east, with at least 156 killed. In eastern Bihar province, thousands have been forced to flee their homes due to the flooding. Kishanganj, Araria, Purnia and Katihar are among the worst hit districts of the province.
प्रभावित जनसंख्या जो हमारे 127 पंचायतों में लगभग 8 लाख के आसपास है अभी, और ये बढ़ भी सकती है क्योंकि पानी जैसे जैसे आगे बढ़ रहा है तो हम लोगों के दूसरे पंचायतों में प्रखंडों में भी वो प्रवेश कर रहा है.
Meanwhile, floods triggered by heavy rains have also wreaked havoc in India's northwestern Rajasthan province. Floods in Jalore town have washed away crops, destroyed roads and disrupted power supplies. Meanwhile, similar situation is being witnessed in neighbouring Nepal. 27 of 75 districts in the country were either submerged or hit by landslides, leaving villages stranded without food, water and electricity. At least 141 people have died, while thousands are affected as floods submerged more than a third of the country.
Nepal's Prime Minister Sher Bahadur Deuba arrived in India on Wednesday on a 5-day visit aimed at bolstering bilateral ties. This is his first visit abroad, assuming the office of Prime Minister of Nepal in June 2017.
Nepal's Prime Minister Sher Bahadur Deuba arrived in New Delhi on Wednesday, aimed at boosting bilateral ties with India. Upon his arrival, Deuba was received by India's Foreign Minister Sushma Swaraj at the airport. This is his first overseas trip after assuming charge as the country's 40th Prime Minister of Nepal on June 6th. During his visit, Deuba will hold talks with his Indian counterpart Narendra Modi and call on Indian President Ram Nath Kovind. Discussions over the connectivity energy cooperation is likely to dominate the talks. Both the countries share a unique relationship of friendship characterized by open borders and extensive cooperation.
In news from Afghanistan, at least 5 people were killed and about 40 wounded in Wednesday's suicide bombing in Lashkar Gah city of Afghanistan's Helmand province. Provincial governor spokesman Omar Zwa confirmed that 2 were soldiers and 3 were civilians. The incident took place outside police headquarters, which is close to a madrasa. The policemen and soldiers had gathered to collect their pay. Death toll is expected to rise. According to reports, the Taliban claimed responsibility for the attack in a Twitter posting.
Urdu personnel zamang de dana amniya komandani dana nalte de Kabul ban ghurfa da gonam ago alta de mashu pe siragli umumi sarak par sar yana zamang de qarawal na makhke buyi bande motor bam ijra showa da felan vaziyat control da.
Moving on, the United States has warned Pakistan that it could lose its status as a privileged military ally if it continues giving safe haven to Afghan militant groups. This comes a day after US President Donald Trump unveiled a new strategy to force the Taliban to negotiate a political settlement with the Afghan government.
US Secretary of State Rex Tillerson has warned Pakistan over its perceived backing for the Taliban in Afghanistan. Tillerson on Tuesday said that Pakistan must adopt a different approach to terrorism and the United States will condition its support on Islamabad's delivering results in the area. This comes a day after US President Donald Trump announced his administration's new strategy on Afghanistan and South Asia.
There's been an erosion in trust because we have witnessed terrorist organizations being given safe haven inside of Pakistan to plan and carry out attacks against U.S. servicemen, U.S. officials, disrupting peace efforts inside of Afghanistan. Pakistan must adopt a different approach, and we are ready to work with them.
Tillerson said that the U.S. troops level in Afghanistan will be announced when the decision is made by the Trump administration.
I think what the President has conveyed, and I agree wholeheartedly with him, is that we are not going to signal ahead what our plans are. We're not going to signal ahead an increase, a decrease, the timing of any of that. It will be driven by conditions on the ground.
During a televised address on Monday, Trump singled out Pakistan for harboring militants, an accusation denied by Islamabad. He promised a stepped-up military campaign against Taliban insurgents who have gained ground against Afghan government forces.
The Maldivian Parliament or Majlis resumed after a 3-week hiatus on Tuesday morning under tight security. Soldiers surrounded embattled Speaker Abdullah Masih Mohammed as opposition lawmakers called for his resignation. However, the proceedings were halted hours later to prevent the opposition from bringing a non-confidence motion. The parliament administration had recently quashed the opposition's move. Masih's impeachment would have sealed the loss of Maldivian President Abdullah Yamin's previously unassailable majority in the parliament. Last month, soldiers barred the main opposition party from entering the parliament. More news from India. Lieutenant Colonel Shrikant Purohit, one of the suspects in 2008 Malegaon bomb blast case in India's western Maharashtra province, walked out of jail after 9 years on Wednesday. India's apex court had granted bail to the army man on Monday while imposing certain conditions. A convoy of cars and army trucks pulled up at Mumbai's Taloja jail to escort Purohit, who will join his last army unit. On September 29, 2008, 7 people were killed and several wounded in a blast at a mosque in communally sensitive Malegaon in Nasik district of North Maharashtra. Non-framing of charges was the biggest reason why Purohit was granted bail, his lawyer said. Keeping education as the topmost priority, Government of India's Northern Jammu and Kashmir province has stepped up efforts to modernize libraries. Students of a government college have welcomed the move taken by the authorities.
The Government of India's Northern Jammu and Kashmir province has started an initiative to promote education and encourage students to study. The authority, as part of the initiative, is constructing a modern library with all possible facilities. Students of a college named Government Tikri College in Kargil district of the province have welcomed the move and expressed excitement to explore the library soon.
सही है जो काम चल रहा है इससे बहुत फ़ायदा हो सकता है क्योंकि अभी जो है हमारी लाइब्रेरी में एक तो किताबें नहीं होने की वजह से जो बच्चे पढ़ना चाहते हैं वो सभी घूमते रहते हैं यूं ही अपना टाइम ज़ाया कर रहे हैं। अगर ये बनेगा तो हम लोग अच्छी तरह से पढ़ भी सकते हैं और किताबें होंगी तो हम लोग अपना टाइम जहाँ पे ज़ाया हो रहा है वो पढ़ाई में से खर्च कर सकते हैं।
The library is named after former President of India, late APJ Abdul Kalam. The administration of the college is also planning to provide proper reading rooms in the modern library. The far-flung areas in the province lack modern facilities, and such initiative would provide students high-tech facilities and other material including books under one roof.
Well, that's the way it was in South Asia this evening. Before we conclude, the top stories once again. Nepalese Prime Minister Sher Bahadur Deuba arrives on a 5-day visit to India. Suicide bombing in Afghanistan's Helmand province kills 5. Well, that's all we have for you from South Asia this evening. Now our viewers can watch the show on SouthAsiaNewsline.com. You can also visit us on Facebook.com/SAsiaNewsline and follow us on Twitter @SAsiaNewsline. That's all in tonight's edition. We'll see you same time tomorrow. Good night.